What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go over everything you need to know about the Tejocote root. We're gonna go over what it is, my weight loss story with it, how to use it, detox symptoms, what's normal, the importance of potassium and the symptoms that come with not getting enough potassium, my tips for best results, other products that might be helpful while you're taking the root, when to expect results, and some success stories. So this is gonna be a very long video, so grab some snacks, grab some water. We're gonna be here for a little bit because I wanna make sure that I am putting every little detail I possibly can into this video from my other videos that I've made so that you can just watch this one and just have all the information that you need. All right, so first things first, what is the Tejocote root? So this is the Tejocote root. You might have heard me refer to it as Alipotec because that's what it was called when I first started it, which was years ago. But it's a root from Mexico that helps with weight loss. To do that, it puts you through a detox, it lowers your cravings, it lowers your appetite, and also helps eliminate fatty substances from your body. You also want to make sure you have an authentic bottle, and how you can check that is your bottle will have a holographic QR code. So you can scan the QR code and type in the numbers below here on the website and it'll tell you if it's registered or not. If you buy from me, they are definitely registered. Basically, if you have any typos while putting it into the website, it's going to say it is a fake. Okay, so just make sure you enter it correctly. Again, if you buy from me, it is authentic. I buy it from the company itself. You don't want to be buying from Amazon. There's so many fakes out there. I did a video comparing Amazon bottles versus ours, and it's really scary, honestly, that people are consuming that stuff. And I chose a bottle that was like the best reviewed one on Amazon. So please don't buy from Amazon. Even though it might be cheaper, it is not worth it. So my story with Tejocote root is I started it in 2018. I was at the heaviest I ever was. I was 221 pounds. And then I started taking the root, and after my first bottle, I had lost 20 pounds. And then I started taking it on and off since then. March 2019, I was at around 185 pounds. And then since then, taking it on and off and got down to around like 173 or so. So I don't want to take up too much time talking about it. I have a link to my whole story on my website. You can read if you're interested. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty stuff. So number one, how do you use it? So first things first with how to use it and how to be successful with it, make sure you are taking pictures and measurements before you start, because this is the main way you're going to be able to track your progress. And I'll go into more detail later about why this is really important, but using the scale by itself, only using the scale to track your progress is not going to work when taking the root, because what the supplement does is helps you lose fat, which doesn't always show on the scale. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you're taking pictures and measurements beforehand so that you can make sure you're tracking your progress correctly. I also have a digital progress tracker if you wanted to use that. You can use it on an iPad, phone, computer, and you can upload your pictures each month, front, side, back, just so you can track your progress, pictures and through measurements. And it's also a daily planner if you wanted to use that too. But I have other videos on that as well if you needed more information. But that's the first point. So you might see that there's two options for a detox supplement. There's the Tejocote root, which is just in its natural form, and then there's the ELV control capsules, and these are called control capsules because they are a controlled amount. Every single one of these are the same amount versus the root. They're all different sizes. So these you don't want to take together. These you would just take one or the other. The root is for beginners and usually for those taking it up to 6 months. And if you've been taking it for 6 months or longer, you can switch over to the control capsules if you're wanting something stronger. So there are people who have preferences, one versus the other, who have tried both. I've personally only tried the root, but a lot of people do switch over to the capsules once they've been on the root for a while so that they can have something that's a little bit stronger. Basically, you just want to choose one or the other. If you're a beginner, I highly recommend choosing the root to begin with. Very plain and simply, you just want to take one a day after your largest meal. You want to swallow it with 16 ounces of water so that you can make sure that it dissolves. And you want to make sure that you're drinking 2 to 4 liters of water a day. And this is very, very important. And I'll get into that in a minute. So say I usually have a pretty large dinner. So for me, the best meal for me would be after dinner. If you notice that you are forgetting to take it because you're waiting for the meal to take it after, say you're waiting to take it after dinner, but you keep forgetting because of that, just choose a meal to take it after. So if you feel like you eat a decent amount after breakfast, and a decent amount as in you're not just eating a little snack, you wanna make sure it's of substance, like a decent amount to take it after, you can do that as well. Just make sure it's like a good meal. So let me show you what the bottle looks like. That's what they look like. They're very interesting looking. So it's pretty simple on like how to take it. There's just little tips and whatnot to help you make sure that you're taking it correctly. One thing to keep in mind is that you need to be drinking a lot of water, and a lot of water is 2 to 4 liters of water a day. 2 liters really being the minimum. So make sure you're drinking your water, guys. And I'll go into this a lot more in detail later, but during the detox, you will be going to the bathroom frequently. Possibly not everyone does. So you will be losing vitamins, minerals, water a lot quicker than you might normally. So that's why it's important to stay hydrated. And also water is really important for just weight loss in general. It also helps make sure that you're flushing the toxins out and helping the supplement flush out the fatty substances that it's trying to help get rid of in your body. So the more water you drink, the better you're gonna feel and the better success you're gonna have. So this is probably one of the more important parts to listen to, and that is the importance of potassium. So many people fall off because of this, and I almost did too when I first started, because I wasn't really taking it as serious as it is. And like I said, because we were flushing out vitamins, minerals at a faster rate, we have to replenish them. And that is why adding in additional potassium is very important. So I will talk about the symptoms that come with low potassium, because that's what a lot of people experience and they're freaking out, wondering why they're feeling that way. So I'll go over that in a minute. But some things that you can do to make sure that you get enough potassium is 1, use Gonium. This stuff, it's a lifesaver for some people, really. I'll be going more into detail about that later, but basically, Gonium not only helps you get enough potassium, it helps lower the detox symptoms that a lot of people experience with having to go to the bathroom a lot, and it just makes the detox process a lot more comfortable. So I highly recommend Gonium. It basically guarantees that you're gonna get enough potassium through the process. If you don't wanna use Gonium and you feel like the pills are too big, you can always open them and put them into a smoothie or mix them into something, or you can eat foods high in potassium. Here's a list of foods you can use. I would just be careful of that, because it can be easy to forget to eat sometimes, eat those foods. So just really make sure that you are choosing something that you can stick with and that you know will get you enough. I have cards on how to take everything that come with your packages, so please read those. There's a reason I wrote this, but a lot of people just don't look at it for some reason and still ask me how to use everything. Anywho, so you take 1 to 3 a day depending on your need. You would start with 1 the first week. If you start feeling low potassium symptoms, move to 2. Most likely you'll stick with 2 a day after breakfast. But if you still are experiencing low potassium symptoms, then you can do 2 after breakfast, 1 after lunch, or 1 in the afternoon before 3 o'clock, just because the Gonium can give you some energy, so you don't want to take it too late. You don't want to start with 3 off the bat. That is a lot of product. That's a lot of potassium to start off with. So that's why you have to make your way up if that is what you need. Most people will just need 1 to 2 a day. But then there's a lot of people that make the mistake of starting off with 3, and then off the bat they start feeling sick, because it is a lot of product. So make sure you keep that in mind. So what are the low potassium symptoms? Very common low potassium symptoms are feeling dizzy, headaches, like horrible headaches. I experienced that. Nausea, cramping, bloating. It can also cause anxiety, depression, heart palpitations are like a very severe low potassium symptom. So keep that in mind. If you're experiencing any of those, most likely it is due to low potassium. All right, next big important part of the video is talking about the detox symptoms and what to expect while you're taking Alipotec or Tejocote Root. So to go into a lot more detail, I did make a video specifically talking about all the detox symptoms and some tips that I have, which I'll link below. And also I wanted to put a disclaimer out there that not everyone experiences the detox symptoms. So if you don't experience them, it doesn't mean it's not working. If you experience them for a little bit and then they stop, doesn't mean that it stopped working. It just means that you're done with the detox phase, or you're just someone who doesn't experience the detox symptoms. That is not a bad thing. It's really not. Some people really like to experience a detox where they're going to the bathroom frequently and whatnot. I would consider you the lucky person out of all of this, because it's not always fun, but it doesn't mean that it's not working. Trust me, just be aware of that. And also something to keep in mind is that everyone experiences the detox differently. So what I'm about to explain and what could happen with when you're going to experience a detox might not be something that you experience or in that time frame, because you could be someone who doesn't experience it until month 2 for some reason, or you experienced it from day 1. Everyone's so different. This is just a very general explanation of when you could experience the detox symptoms, and basically what I experienced myself. So in the first week, let's say day 1 to week 1, so in the first week, you may start experiencing detox symptoms already. There are some people that experience it on day 1, which is very surprising and interesting to me, but yeah, there are some people who have to go to the bathroom boom, right after they take it. For me, I don't think I experienced having to go to the bathroom until week 1 or 2. I would say it's not really until week 2, so after your first week, that you'll start noticing more detox symptoms. So you might be going to the bathroom more frequently, diarrhea. We call them the Alipotec shits. Yeah. For me, it is always boom. After week 1, I'm feeling sore. It's like you worked out. It's most likely in the areas that you have the most fat. So you could experience soreness or tenderness, face, neck, boobs, hips, stomach, butt, legs, everywhere. Anywhere that you have a lot of fat, you can possibly experience the soreness or tenderness. So don't freak out if you start feeling it in your boobs. It's normal. But also if you feel like it's abnormal and it might not be because of the root, then definitely go get that checked out. After the first week, you could also possibly start experiencing bloating. That could last a couple weeks. Any excessive bloating could be to low potassium, so make sure you're getting enough potassium. So you could also experience body hardness. This is also in areas that you have a lot of fat, and I would just explain it as stiffness, where normally say your belly jiggles. Now it's not gonna jiggle, it's just very stiff. And then you also might experience some lumps of what look like fat under your skin, and that's just the accumulation of fat that is basically getting ready to be eliminated in your body. It just looks like little kind of lumps, little lumpy balls of fat kind of under your skin. So the soreness, hardness, and lumps usually just last between 1 to 2 weeks or so. To me, that's a really good sign that it's working, because I always notice fat loss after that phase. So frequent bathroom trips are usually the only detox symptom that lasts longer than those initial 1 to 2 weeks. But also going to the bathroom a lot can also be caused by your diet. So if you're eating a really fatty diet, or you're eating really greasy foods, you could be going to the bathroom a lot more, and that could be a lot worse for you. So if you don't want to experience that, I would really cut down on fatty foods as much as you can. I noticed the better I ate, the less I had to go to the bathroom, and the less I was going like that, For me, I think when I first started, it just lasted, I want to say 3 to 4 weeks or so. Yeah. It's not like I was shitting the entire day, but I was going frequently throughout the day. And again, this could kick in later for some people. It could kick in the second month. I've heard people not experience the soreness until month 2 or 3. So everyone is so different. Okay, so that was just a huge quick overview of the detox symptoms, just so you know what is normal. But if you want a more detailed explanation, definitely watch the video that I talked about it. All right, so here are some of my top tips that I always recommend to people while they're taking the root for the best results. So number 1 is to be consistent, which to me means taking it every single day. You may forget to take it a day here, a day there, which is okay, but the more you're taking it consistently every single day, the better results. There are some people who can take it on and off and they still see results, but for me, when I noticed the best weight loss and fat loss, I was on top of it. I was drinking a lot of water. I was taking it every single day, usually after lunch, and I was just making sure like I didn't miss a day. If you do, it's okay. Just take it the next day or when you remember to take it, but just try to be as consistent as you can. Number 2, this is the big one, is to be patient and to trust the process. This can be hard for a lot of people because we love to see instant gratification. We want to see that what we're doing is working, and I totally get it. I'm the same way, but we have to keep in mind that sometimes it can take a little bit longer for some of us to notice a difference. And that's also why you have to make sure that you're tracking your progress in the right way, because you could really discourage yourself if you're only basing it off of the scale. I've had so many people who have gained weight on the scale, but you can tell a huge difference in their before and after with the amount of fat loss that they experience. So please make sure you're not just basing your progress on the scale, because you'll probably discourage yourself and you'll want to stop, and probably would see really great results if you just kept up with it. Which leads me into my third point, which is to not trust the scale, which I basically just talked all about. But the scale is not going to do you justice in the beginning of your weight loss journey while taking the root anyways, because it does work on fat loss, which you will notice a difference in your inches. So you're going to lose inches and you're going to lose fat. So that's why pictures and measurements are so important. Don't trust the scale at first. Also, I talked about this, but potassium and water are huge, so important, because if you don't get enough potassium, you will feel terrible. You'll feel terrible, you won't want to continue, you'll have to take a break, and that'll stop with the process of you trying to lose weight. Trust me, I've experienced the low potassium symptoms and they're horrible. And I didn't really know what was happening to me at the time because I wasn't really paying attention to like the little pamphlet that you get. It's so important, you guys. And I don't repeat this over and over and over for no reason. It's really important, especially if you want to see the best results, but also just to make sure that you feel good. Another tip I have is to take the larger pieces. So in the root, there's going to be all different size pieces. Try taking the larger pieces first, and you'll see a bigger detox in the beginning. I actually did it the opposite way when I started. I started taking the small ones first because I thought that it would be harder to lose weight later down the road, so I kept the bigger pieces for later. So it kind of depends like what you want to do. If you want quicker results in the beginning versus later, I mean, in the end, they're not that much of a difference from each other, but that's what I did. And lastly, I did a whole video on this if you need more information on it, but if you have hit a plateau, I always recommend taking a break for like 1 to 3 months if possible. And again, I have a whole video on other tips that you can use if you do hit a plateau, because our body does get used to the product. So I have a ton of tips if you need to watch that. Okay, so other helpful products you can use while taking the root. So you guys might see it on my website. I have the Trio Kit, which also comes in the control, but this is a Trio Kit. There's a reason we recommend these products together. Ganium, I already told you guys, this helps with potassium. It helps lower your detox symptoms, basically helps prevent vitamin deficiency. So this is super, super important. A lot of people like it because you just feel a lot better while taking it. So that's Ganium. This is what those capsules look like. They are pretty big, I will admit. Then we have alkaline. These are basically alkaline drops that you put into your water. You would put 10 drops in 1 liter of water, but you don't want to exceed 20 drops a day. So if you know you're going to be drinking 3 liters of water a day, you could split up the 10 to 15 drops that you use in a day between those 3 liters. Really, it helps balance your pH levels because naturally, as Americans, we have an acidic diet. So this helps our pH levels and also helps remove toxins quicker so you feel better. And it also helps prevent liquid retention, which a lot of us experience when we first start taking the root, because all of a sudden we're drinking a ton of water, and especially if we're not getting enough potassium, we could retain those liquids too. So this helps with that a lot. So that's why the Trio Kit is really, really recommended, because these products really help a lot during the process while you're losing weight with the root. Some other products you can try are the Golden Elf. I freaking love this stuff. I, no joke, drink this every day. I make a golden latte and it is so good. And I was really surprised by the taste of it because it's actually sweet. It has oats, cardamom, turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper. Mainly it helps with intestinal inflammation and it promotes a healthy, better digestion, which I definitely notice in the reason I take it because I'm not taking the root right now. And also helps with gastritis. So there's a lot of benefits to this and I feel great taking it. So try it if you want to. I personally really like it. I replaced my daily matcha lattes with the golden latte. And lastly, we have collagen. You might know collagen helps with the regrowth of nails, hair, skin. So because we are losing vitamins and minerals at a faster rate, this also helps with reproducing that, building healthier skin, hair, and nails. Okay, so when to expect results? This is always a huge question. And I have a bunch of FAQs on my website too if you wanted to take a look at all those. I answer a lot of questions, but usually it will take 3 to 6 months to notice results. Will you see results sooner than that? Possibly. I did, but I first noticed fat loss after 1.5 to 2 months, but I didn't really see a significant difference in my weight until probably 2.5 months or so. But everyone's different. There are people that lose like 7 pounds in the first week, or some people gain weight but they're losing fat. So everyone is just so different. I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen to you, but just know if you stick with it and you follow everything, you take it correctly and you're patient, then that's how you're gonna see the best results, is if you're patient and you give it time, 1 to 2 bottles sometimes, to notice a difference, and make sure you're not just tracking on the scale. So in the first couple months, you probably will notice a difference in your measurements because you'll be losing fat first. That is what I noticed for myself and what a lot of people notice for themselves as well. But yeah, just keep in mind that it can take going into the second bottle to notice a difference for some people. And that's kind of where a lot of people, it kind of make or breaks them. I've seen a lot of people who stick it out and they are successful because they were very patient while waiting and taking it until their second bottle. So yeah, or there's some people that will just stop. Everyone's different. And lastly, I wanted to kind of talk about some success stories. So I wanted to start with Rebecca. She is actually someone I've become a lot closer with now, but she was losing weight, and this is in the first year that she was taking it, and she was sending me before and after pictures, and I was so happy about that because I just loved seeing her transformation. And then seeing her a year later, she sent me her pictures and I was amazed. She had lost over like 80 pounds while taking the root, and in 1 year, I was baffled. But yeah, she said her highest was 256 pounds. So a year later, she's at 175 pounds, and she said that she took the root for a year. She was taking it every single day. She was very determined to lose weight, so she made sure to drink a lot of water, be consistent, and she said that she did little to no exercise, but I know now that she is exercising more, I believe, which is similar to me. I was not exercising at all when I first started, but that is Rebecca. So Gracie, I believe she lost 50 pounds or so in a year taking Tejocote Root. She was taking the root and Ganium at the time, but she also made sure to drink a lot of water, and she said it helped her eat a lot less as well. But her transformation, it's crazy. Y'all amaze me. Y'all really amaze me. And the last one I want to share is Iman. This one is just so amazing to me. This is one of the examples that you can see she has clearly lost a lot of fat, but she gained 4 pounds. And that is exactly why you should not trust the scale. Don't weigh yourself every week, and just really pay close attention to your pictures and measurements, because that really speaks it all. I just don't even know what else to say about that. When I say it's about fat loss, it's about fat loss, y'all. I have a bunch of success stories on my website in the testimony section. I also show a lot on my TikToks, and I show a lot on my Instagram too. So if you want to see more of those, check those out. Love sharing those. Also, a lot of people share their weight loss stories and success on our Facebook group, so you can check that out as well. But that's it. That was a lot. And if you need more details about any of these sections, I basically have a whole video talking in a lot of detail about basically all of this that I just talked about. But I wanted to sum it up all for you in one video so that you can just watch it, take it all in, and then use it for yourself, for your own weight loss journey. So I hope that helped. I hope that wasn't confusing at all. It's a lot of information. If you guys do have any other questions beyond all of that, please let me know in the comments below. Anyways, follow me on my socials. I'm way more active there. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.